Good morning, my name is Syed Ahmer.
And my name is Amy Idugboe, and welcome to this episode of Good Morning Grendel.
This just in, our first story of the day.
Yes, last night it was discovered that a suspicious spirit monster had an encounter with a seemingly lost group of humans.
It was also found that prior to his human encounter, he had a shocking altercation with a bull and a monstrous creature in which he became severely injured. But when we arrived on site, he was no longer there.
Yes, and now we have our eyewitness testimony to recall the tale.
Live on site with one of the villagers that was on site at the time of the attack.
Well, it was a very bright moon that night. Me, the king, and the other townspeople just hanging around the forest like we always do. And then all of a sudden, I heard this noise. It sounded like a bull, an animal, and it started running away past the trees. And then over here, right at the scene, there was blood. And then before we knew it, there was a giant monster-like creature that just appeared from behind. It was right here. It was right here, and I was gone. But it was a giant monster-like creature. And he spoke in this weird voice. We tried to understand him, but it just sounded like noises. We didn't really understand what he was saying. And then, before we knew it, he started yelling and screaming, and then the king ordered us to go get pigs. We went to get pigs, we came back, he was gone, everyone was gone. And
Thank you, Ahmer, too, for giving us insight on that eyewitness testimony.
Yeah, I'm Ahmer 1, by the way. So also we recently got some footage from the monster itself in question, and we're about to show you guys that right now.
Mom! Moon!
And surprisingly, our very own zodiac sign expert, Daffodil Starflower, was able to translate the monster's words.
She has further insight for us going forward.
Today, we are going to be diving deep into the various zodiac signs present in the novel Grendel with our very own household zodiac expert, Mrs. Daffodil Starflower. So, Mrs. Daffodil, would you please enlighten us on the various zodiac signs present in this chapter?
the sign present here is the Taurus. The bull, which, if you didn't already know, represents love, practical caring, parental type figure.
Very insightful. Could you elaborate on that?
I guess so. Tauruses tend to have a strong desire for extravagance, contentment, which often makes them come off as needy or self-centered, well, in simpler terms, annoying. Tauruses are quite like the bulls who represent their sign, prone to anger, and once enraged, they can be terrifying. Most Tauruses I know fall into this category, usually headstrong, determined, and convinced their opinions are always right. Well, if you've read the chapter, Grendel seems to be going through some sort of internal conflicts in his interactions with his environment. The townspeople, the king, and even his mother leave him in an extremely existential state of mind. I mean, it's so apparent in his limited dialogue with his mother. I tried to tell her all that had happened, all that I'd come to understand, the meaningless objectiveness of the world, the universal bruteness. She only stared, troubled at my noise. And I mean, he quite literally says, I exist, nothing else. And I create the whole universe, blink by blink. Which is something that he truly believes, and is also a common terrorist trait, being self-centered.
Wow, what an amazing take. I want a tarot card reading now. On to the next segment.
Now, that was a very interesting take from our zodiac sign expert. For further analysis, we have the weather channel, actually, the philosophy channel, if you will, coming in. So let's cut right to
It is I, the philosopher, and I'm here to explore the philosophy behind Grendel in this chapter. Now, in the beginning of the chapter, Grendel starts off as very secluded and distant from the rest of society. The only relationship he truly has is that of his mother, which is purely physical. Now, later on in this chapter, Grendel gets trapped to a tree, and while he's trapped to that tree, a boar starts attacking him violently. Grendel realizes that this bull's only purpose is to attack him, and by doing so, he's able to realize that he can dodge, the bull attacks in patterns and he can dodge them. Now, there's a philosophy that made him realize that, this bull's only purpose is called solipsism. Solipsism is a theory holding that the self can know nothing but its own modifications, and that the self is the only existent thing. That's Merriam-Webster. In English, that basically means the world is through my perception and nothing else has conscientious thought. Now, Grendel uses this to later on in the book to dehumanize people and justify his actions.
We just received a breaking news interview from the monster who names himself Grendel. Now, he has been listening into all of our reports recently, and he wants to defend himself and describe what it truly means to be a monster.
Thank you, Syed and Amy. I'll take it from here. That is right. You heard it here first. We'll be conducting a real-time interview with the monster that's been terrorizing the townspeople. And now you might be thinking, well, we can't even understand him. That's not true. We got this magical device right here that's translating everything he's saying in real time. In fact, we've already been able to find out his name. His name is Grendel. It is I, Grendel, and I'm here because you guys have been slandering me all day on your news broadcasts. Let me tell you how I got here. I met the townspeople through a long day. That day started off with me getting stuck on a tree, right? And while I was stuck on this tree, a bull started attacking me constantly. Started just attacking me nonstop. And while I was stuck on the tree, I made a realization that this bull's only purpose in life was to harm me. And once I made that realization, I started being able to dodge all of his attacks. Now, I eventually ran out of energy and passed out. And when I came to, I saw the townspeople, and they saw me. They were excited to see me because they thought I was like a nature spirit or something. They were about to offer me food when suddenly they started to attack me out of nowhere. And so, naturally, when they attacked me, I tried defending myself, but I nearly died. And now, everyone's calling me the monster. That definition makes no sense to me. Because I did nothing wrong. I didn't attack them. I didn't provoke them, but they attacked me. Now, in their perspective, I may look like a monster, I may act like a monster, but am I truly a monster? In my eyes, the townspeople were the monsters because they attacked me unprovoked. Now, for our next segment, we actually have been hearing reports of a dragon, and God, it's real! Oh my God, it's attacking me! Ah!
Thank you, viewers, for tuning in to Good Morning Grendel, and have a great rest of your day.